So jumping into Illustrator. So now we'll start a new file, new, and basically we'll open a new document. We want to make it a print document, always gives you the high quality. If you don't know, one important thing is to get the width. When it's asking here for the width, we are going to use an A3. You always choose it to millimeters or centimeters, either or. And if you have all presets here, you put the A1. Again, it changed to points. We don't want to point. We want to have millimeters and centimeters, because it can actually give us the scale, and you can immediately understand the scale when you open the rulers. What are you working in? So we put the landscape as well and press create. So this will create a new page, which is here on the artboards. So this one, and Z, file, place, and we look for our ortho drawings, which is ortho. Here we go, place, and okay, that's interesting. Why did he do it before and didn't do it before? File, open, ortho, open. Yeah, so it opened in this place. So you can see now that you have all the drawings. They are, as usual, they are white because the lines were white or black and it didn't carry any colors. But you can also see you get the same type of layers that were part of the Make2D and the ones that were activated in Rhino. So now we'll start working with this. At the moment, so the scale, we don't have anything, but we can immediately start understanding, if you want, what kind of a scale you are working on. And this will go to show rulers, or Command R, and you start immediately seeing. So this is in centimeters or millimeters, and precisely what you want to go on. Like this, you have a reference, and if you don't know which scale your drawing came in, you immediately can transport it from Rhino. So if we go to Rhino, you can measure through these of distance. Okay, so let's say this is this big, so you get it's a 1:100, so it's 18.84 millimeters. So it's going to be 18 centimeters, 0.8. So what you do basically on Illustrator is get a line of, give one click. If you give one click, it will ask you for the dimension or the length of the line. So 18, and this we are working in millimeters, so 18.84, 0.84, and press OK. And again, this is the dimension of the line. So if you rotate again, so this can work as a reference for the size of your drawing, and like this you don't have any scaling problems. So we go back to here again. Good practice again with the lines. So don't use the default for anything else. This is just another layer. Let's put this one as a reference. So like this, you can put it there, lock it, and like this, it won't snap into it. It will snap to it, but it won't interfere. So every time you select, you only select this. So now what we need to do is put the drawing here, so we know that the dimension of the drawing is going to be that big, and we start placing it until you get the right scale. So this is one way. I mean, it's not the ideal way. The ideal way will be putting and actually There we go. So now we are almost there, so you can zoom in and focus on what this needs to offer. So you go, if you can control all, so Apple all, and so basically now you have the correct size of your model. So there's no problems with the scale. So this is one way of referencing it. Now we know that this is the correct dimensions. So the next part is again the same thing. We need to ungroup, and we'll do page by page and select. So we'll go on this and select this drawings, and right click, and because they are already ungrouped, so we can actually move them around and group them individually. So that's what I'll do here. So I'll group, right click, and I'll group this one, and I'll select this one there and group this one, and the same with the plan. So the plan again has the hatch, so you can see the fill immediately when you select, and you can use it independently or just group this one for now. Okay, so if this is, we know that this is the right dimension because we made the dimension for the elevation, and so now what we are going to do is create 2 more artboards, and you just create 1, 2, and put drawings in every artboard. So so let's place the plan on the first one, and then we're going to move this one to page 2, and again move this one to page 3. So here we go. So now we have all the drawings. We can again start customizing and give the elements that need to be provided and to create a good legible element. So again, it's going to be focused on you can always leave it this, because like this you always have a reference. You can keep on adding layers. So default one is going to be this one, and I'm going to start choosing, and now that this one is ungrouped, it's grouped, I'll ungroup it and use this, which is the hatching. I'm going to put it in another layer and select the same hatch here, also put it in another layer, and the same for the rest. Okay, so once we have the hatch, and there's this little piece here that I just didn't add yet, so I'm going to add it. So now we have the hatch there. Now the reason why I did this is now we can work on our line weights, and that will give us a better control on what you want to show. So now you only see that the line weights, the stroke is here. So I'm going to use let's use a similar color to what I had before. So let's go with the blue, and yep, 8052, press OK. All right, and you can always do again use it as a swatch, and you can always use this Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V and like this you can always use the eyedropper in order to get the properties. So I selected that one, and now I'm going to use it as a fill. So this is going to be for the edge, this is going to be for the line weight. Obviously what I need in the line weight here, because we are going to use the hedge, we don't need foreground, background, but we can use here on the stroke on the right hand side, go the thinnest line weight. So it starts getting this kind of very light kind of representation. And now if we turn on our stroke, our layers, you start immediately see the capacity that it provides. I'm going to turn off this one. We don't need that reference anymore. Obviously the black is too big, so I'm going to lock the line weights. Layer this one, select the layers, and again, you can either use the eyedropper from here, so it will apply to that. And yeah, that will offer us now legibility to the plan. Now you start seeing that the plan gives you that kind of quality, but it's still pretty flat. So what we do next in order to get that shading and the volume is basically to go back to Rhino, and from the same view here, from the top, have the same element, sorry, extracting a view from here. And in this case, well, what we do is basically go to the top and basically bring your model in, not the 3D view. So what you get here, as you can already see, is that kind of shading that can recreate what the element is. So that kind of volume that architecture is. Also, if you add the clipping plane, if you unhide it, so it will start once making that kind of view that allows to extract the elements. So we don't need the clipping plane to be seen now, so it's turning off. Again, when you turn on and off the clipping plane, it gives you where is it cutting in the Arctic view. And now we use the full screen. This is important because it will increase your resolution and capture this image. For capturing this image from Rhino, you go capture, go view, capture to file, or the command capture image, and view capture to file, and basically it's going to offer you this window, and will ask you what you want to turn on. I actually don't want anything. You can make the background transparent if you don't want, but I actually enjoy this kind of shading that's spilling out, so I'm going to use that, and the resolution of the viewport. So in this case I'm using this resolution, which is more than enough, but you can increase to whatever size you want. So it's not a problem, it will give you a high resolution. In this case we are having my viewport is 2900 by 1800. So we are going to apply that. It will ask you where do you want to save it, and plan, JPEG. So I might have another one, so I'm putting the underscore, press save, and now once you go back to Illustrator, we'll just import the image. So file, place, plan, JPEG, place, and now if you just click it, it gives you a big view because it's highly definition, highly defined. So now we scale it back, scale, let's say 20%, and bring that image in. Again, it's up to us to scale it properly, but we have the reference now. Now you see that this offers you, but now it's on top. So again, the same thing with Illustrator. the layer that's on top is going to be actually the one that's being seen, and since this is an image, it will overlay everything, all the works that are behind, and it's opaque, so there's nothing that can be seen over. So I'm going to actually create a new one, a new layer, select the image and actually drag it to that one, and select the layer and put it below everything. So now basically it just goes under. Since we have everything locked, we can move around our image without destroying anything. So basically it's just kind of lining up the size of the image to the size of your drawing. So this is the image, and press Shift again to proportionally enlarge the image itself, and yep, and zoom out, and it starts to become more the size that you actually is part of. Almost there. And yep. So you can always use the arrows to place your drawing. So now it's almost there, so I'm going to just scale it from here, and oh, it's too big already, so yep, and here we go. So this is how we can give that nice extra element, still a bit too big, and I'm just going to, there we go, that kind of volumetric quality. It also, once you print, it's even more visible, but it's always useful to have these kind of lines that inform what kind of, where the drawing is and where it's going to be applied on the lines where does the element finishes.